to prove who's responsible for dropping it. Well, this could all change now because litter wardens in the city of Preston have started wearing special headsets fitted with cameras to catch unsuspecting offenders in the act of dropping rubbish. Elaine Wilcox has been out on patrol.
This is the battle they're up against, but Preston street cleaners have a new weapon, a head camera. Here, these young litterbugs are caught red-handed dropping rubbish and cigarette stubs, and armed with the evidence, they're told to pick them up.
Do you realise what you've done?
Yeah, of course, yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, really sorry about that.
It was the street cleaners themselves who came up with the idea of the headset because the camera never lies. In the past, when they confronted the litterbugs, some became threatening and abusive until they realised they'd been caught on camera.
I could stand in front of somebody before. I said, excuse me, you just thrown that. Oh, it wasn't me. He said, it wasn't me. But now I have the camera, I have the evidence, I can put us to that issue.
It seems our every move is now caught on camera, but the view here is that it's worth it if it cleans up the streets.
For the purpose of keeping the streets clean, I'm all for it.
We're filming people more and more nowadays. Does that bother you or not?
No, because if you're not done anything wrong, then it doesn't matter, does it?
Well, we're joined now to talk about all of this by Anna Fairclough from civil liberties organisation Liberty and Keep Britain Tidy representative Dickie Felton, who is in Preston this morning. So let's talk to you first of all, Dickie, then. What do you think about this scheme?
Well done, Preston. I think they're taking the issue of litter very, very seriously. We have 2.2 million bits of litter dropped every single day. It's a massive amount. It costs the taxpayer about £550 million, me and you, every single day to clean up after litter louts. And it's things like this. It's chip wrappers, bits of paper, sweet wrappers, things like that. And I think the absolute shame is that they've been dropped just less than a yard away from the bin, so people can't even be bothered putting it in the bin.
Yeah, I'm hoping you're going to pick that up in a minute, though. Does it become? Would you like to see it become more nationwide?
Well, I think the use of cameras, it's controversial, but we think that we really do need to take the fight to the litter louts. At the moment, we kind of really feel that maybe they are winning the battle, and we think that the likes of Preston really leading the way in trying to claim it back.
All right, we've got Anna here. Let's talk to her. So a practical solution to a problem that blights many people's lives. Shame them by showing them that they're caught on camera. What do you think?
I think you do have to wonder how practical this solution actually is, because we'll never have enough litter wardens, enough police officers, whether or not they're wearing cameras on their heads, to chase every litter lout in the country. The more effective way, I would think, is to encourage a change in public attitudes, make sure there are enough bins out, for example. I don't know if anybody's done the maths about, is this actually going to work? Would it be better to try and change attitudes?
It seems to have had a very good effect so far, and as we saw there, and we've all seen it with our own eyes, haven't we, there's very often rubbish dropped by a bin, so it's not just a question of accessibility of bin. And isn't this one way to change people's attitudes? Because one of the things the authorities always say is that people don't, there are fines for dropping litter, people don't ever get caught. It feels very rare. I think it's 57 in the area last year were picked up on dumping, and that was really big, litter dumping. So isn't it a way of making people realise they are being watched, they will get caught, and thinking about what they're doing?
Well, as I said, I'm not sure that it is going to increase, unless you have litter wardens on every single corner, it's not actually going to increase people being caught. The other concern is, are we maybe taking the wrong angle? Sometimes if you go into things too hard, if it's too much stick and not enough carrot, people might actually be discouraged and might react, become alienated. It might reduce public support for this sort of measure.
What carrot would you like to see then?
Things like public education, bins on every corner, make sure the streets are properly clean so people have an incentive to keep them that way.
OK, what do you think about this then, Dickie, that, there's too much stick, not enough carrot, and if you've only got 3, I think that's what we're talking about in the area anyway, is it really going to make a difference?
Well, as I think that the use of cameras is one way of getting the message across that dropping litter is totally unacceptable. We certainly take the point on about education. Certainly at Keep Britain Tidy we run the Eco Schools programme, so we have around 12,000 schools nationwide who we talk to about green issues, and obviously litter is one of those key issues. Don't drop litter. But certainly, we're not suggesting for one moment that people in Preston are going to be running around with cameras willy-nilly. It really does serve as a warning, and it does let people know that, if you do drop your crisp packet, if you do drop your cigarette butt, you could be landed with a fine, you could be caught. And I think the thing is also, people never own up to dropping litter. So this is one way, really, of saying, well, here's the proof you have dropped litter.
There you go. Could make people stop and think.
It could do, but I think the example of CCTV shows that despite being the most watched nation in the world, CCTV hasn't actually had much effect on either preventing or detecting crime. So I think we ought to learn lessons from that before we start dishing out spending money on more cameras. OK,
it's an interesting debate. Good speech to Swanee and to you, Dickie, as well in Preston. Thanks very much indeed. Now, off you go. Pick up that litter.
Poor Dickie. Poor Dickie. He will now, I bet.
He will. He'll have to. No, he's not going anywhere.
OK, he's off.
He's a good boy. He's a good boy. You see, no, there is a camera on him, but it's not one of those surveillance ones. It's ours.
It's a civic-minded fellow. Thanks for that, Dickie. You can stop now. Cheers, mate. 8:18 is the time this Wednesday morning. You're ordering somebody around from this comfortable sofa. What do you like?
I know.